Hey Virgo, welcome to Key Wisdom Tarot. My name is Ruth, I'm your Reiki Master and Tarot Reader, and this, my darlings, is your intuitive reading for the time between the 1st of December moving into January 2020, if you can believe that. Now, your Sun, Moon and Stars reading looks at three different areas, three key areas. So the first row is going to be related to your divine masculine or the sun, which is your actions and experiences in the month of December. The moon section of the reading is related to your divine feminine, which is what's going on beneath the surface for you, your emotions and what's maybe hidden. And then the stars, which is kind of like your rising sign, if you will, but that's where you're headed in the month of January, or where you're headed, toward the end of the month. And in the future into next year. Okay, so my darlings, I have already shuffled the cards, okay, and cleanse the area for you. So I'll do a little bit more shuffling on camera, and then we're going to get started on your reading. And as we go, I might add a little bit more info into you. Now, I have actually, as you can see, for those people that are not new to my channel, welcome to those people who are new. Those people who are not new to my channel, you will notice that there's been a few little changes, just one or two little changes. And that's because, I am a Reiki Master, and my full title, like every Reiki Master, is Reiki Master and Teacher. And, you know that I'm a natural born teacher, and really my job is to teach you guys, really about understanding, the ultimate nature of your reality, which is really truly what spirituality is about, what Reiki is about, what tarot is about, what astrology is about. It's about you getting to know the ultimate nature of your reality and really engaging with that. So it's really my job to teach you that through these readings, okay, and through all the videos that I produce, okay? So I'm going to shut up now and I'm going to deal your cards. Okay, you can see all those, can't you? Now, it's very interesting actually. This card, I deal the cards face down, not for mystery or dramatic effects. I do it because, as I always say to you guys, I experience the energy. This card has got a lot to say. It's the last card you're going to say actually, but it's got a lot to say, this card. And I can hear it, but I'm not going to focus on it now. I'm going to try not to focus on it now, even though it's got a lot to say. I'm going to try not to focus on it now, and we're going to go through the rest of the reading first, okay? I feel like there's a card, this card wants to come out as well, so, and I feel like it wants to go with that. In fact, I'll put it there beneath. You can't see, it's just there, but it's off the screen. In fact, if I move it up a bit, because I really want to keep that separate. In fact, there we go. So I remember. Okay, my darlings, card at the base of the reading is Wheel of Fortune. And this card is all about change. Now, we've got with number 10, it's a 1, isn't it, really? And 1s are about new beginnings, but 0s are portholes. Now, people have different understandings of a porthole. And I use that word as a sort of shorthand to say an opportunity. So it's an opportunity for a new start, opportunity for a new beginning. And that means, whenever I see the Wheel of Fortune, it means that you've been through it up until this point, okay? You've been through it up until this point. Some of you guys, it's been we know how tense this year's been for a lot of us. And you can check out the other videos that I'll be doing. I'll talk about those later on anyway, that can give you a bit more help on that. But it looks like change is going to come. Change is going to get interesting now. The tower just popped out. It looks like change is going to come for you guys, Virgo, in the month of December. So let's start with the Sun section of your reading, or the Divine Masculine section of your reading. So we've got the 9 of Cups, we've got the 3 of Pentacles, we've got the 8 of Cups, and we've got the 6 of Swords. Now, excuse me. So in the Sun section of these are just my little notes. In your Sun section of the reading, you have your Divine Masculine, and your actions and experiences. So we're looking at things that you're going to be doing outside in the world, or things that people are going to be doing to you, or things that you're going to be coming across in the month of December. Interestingly, we start with the number 9, which is related to the Hermit. So it's related to your energy, isn't it? Number 9. It's related to you. And remember, your energy, number 9, the Hermit, is all about your fastidious focus on detail, the way that you are so focused on precision and understanding exactly what it is in this instance you feel and you want. The Cups energy is about your emotional world, your intuitive world, and this is about understanding what it is you feel. Really, it's about understanding what it is you feel. That's what this energy is about. And that could be with regard to wishes. So we call this a wish fulfillment card. And it could be that you get something that you've wanted for some time, or you have something that you've wanted for some time in the month of December. You're recognizing that that's it. You're recognizing the significance and the importance of your emotional world. You're recognizing the significance of your emotions when it comes to the things that you want. You see, this is what this year's been about, really. I don't really want to talk about 2019, but I will. This year's been about our engagement with our realities as individuals. And our realities are made up of more than just the things that we see out in the world. It's also made up of our emotional world. It's also made up of our beliefs and our ideas and our fantasies and our desires. It's made up of a whole range of things, our reality. And you're starting to realize the significance of your emotions. Some of you might have felt at times this year, like we all have probably, because it's been that type of year, emotionally overwhelmed. But it's a recognition for you guys this month of your emotions. It could be that some of you are going to be seeking help or being more open. So talking, I say seeking help because this card is here. It could be some of you that are being more open with your friends or your family members about the challenges that you've been facing. You know, you're a bit more candid about it in the month of December, which is definitely what you need to be. I mean, when we have, the holidays, or in this country, we celebrate Christmas. A lot of people do, as well, but you might not. But you know what I'm saying? At this time of year, we've all got holidays, I think, haven't we? And sometimes it's that time that gives us that. Sometimes it's this time of year that makes us feel like we a bit more emotional, because we're around our family, we're around our friends, or we're not around our family and we're not around our friends. So it can be really pointed for some of us. And I think that this is really significant time for you guys, Virgo, because you're really appreciative of the things that you've had, the gains that you've made this year, but you're also recognizing how challenging it's been. And you're actually more communicative about that. You're also, you're able to talk a bit more openly about how, and it's not that you're closed off about your emotions necessarily, not at all. I don't get that sense, but just a sense of owning your emotional reality and sharing that, your desires, what you need, what you want, and where you feel things have been lacking for you. And some of you might be reaching out, as I said, to help, for help, so you might want to speak to somebody specifically, counselling or something about how you've been feeling. But also it could be that you're bringing people together around you, so that you can all feel supported. And it's, as I said, it's that time of year, so it's nice to do that and to feel that way. We've got the Three of Pentacles next. Now, number threes is related to your third chakra, actually. Your third chakra is I can and I do. And Pentacles energy, that's the affirmation that I use. Your solar plexus. It's about what you do. It's linked to your divine masculine, actually, is number three. And it's linked to you doing the things that are necessary for you, that you want to do. That you understand, even though it might not have seemed practical in the past to, for example, I'm going to take 2 weeks off work because I just need that space. You know, that's the type of energy that's practical, and people will support you in that. So, you know, for some people, if they've had, exhaustion, being exhausted in itself is stressful. It creates anxiety. It creates, and it's that type of thing where you're saying, do you know what, I'm going to give myself that time. And that's the type of understanding that some of us could reach. And it could be about anything. It doesn't have to be that specifically. That's an example to try to illustrate the type of things that I mean, okay? So number three, and Pentacles energy. Pentacles is where we put our energy and effort in order to manifest our security. And we've got, again, the number three. So this is you understanding the things that you can do, that you should do, that you want to do. Also, you acting on that, you recognizing the things that are necessary for you to do, acting on it, and then people supporting you in that. So I need a week off work, boss, because I'm exhausted and I just have to be honest with myself about how I'm feeling. And the boss says, do you know what, brilliant, if you need that week off, you take that week off, because we need you happy, we need you healthy. Do you know what I'm saying? That type of thing. So this is people supporting you because you're able to be firm and sure and certain about what it is you need from your friends, from your family, from your work colleagues, from your partner, whoever it is for you, whatever it is for you. So there's a real sense of you sort of asking for the help that you need, or the support that you need, in order to achieve the dreams that you have, asking for that support, asking for that help, and because you recognize that your feelings matter and are important, and they are important and they do matter. Okay, then we've got the Eight of Cups here. So we've got the Eight of Cups and the Nine of Cups, which means progress. Now, Eight of Cups is yes about walking away from difficult emotions or challenging emotions or challenging emotional cycles. This tells me, see, I want to go back further than this year though, actually. Sometimes we can be sometimes we can be sorry, don't worry about who I'm talking to. Sometimes we can be in a challenging situation for so long, and then we're out of that, and then we get out of that situation, but we still carry the emotions of that situation that's held us for so long. That's what this energy is like. I'll give you an example. My sister, my lovely sister, my big sister Emma, she is a solicitor. Now she went to university to train to be a solicitor. But then instead of being a solicitor, she's older than me. Instead of being a solicitor, originally she's worked for young people. She's an advocate basically for young people. She works with young people who have been through very, very difficult, traumatic experiences. But she's always wanted to be a solicitor, work in a solicitor's office, blah, 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 blah. So this year, she finally, and I said to her a few months back, earlier this year, I said, Emma, it's coming, don't you worry. And she's got the job, and I spoke to her yesterday, she's loving it. But just imagine if you'd been out of work for a long time, and you've been trying to get a job, and then you get the job, and it's amazing. But all the anxiety and the stress and the strain of the 2-3 years leading up to you getting that job, this is that emotion. This is you walking away from it. This is what the Eight of Cups tells us. This is what the Eight of Cups shows us. It's you walking away from carrying those heavy emotions with you, carrying, as I said, she was looking for this, trying to get this job. Now she's working in a solicitor's office, working with vulnerable people. That's who she's helping to represent. Vulnerable young adults and vulnerable children. Anyway, I digress. You have been, so for some of you, say for example, you've been in a breakup. You've been dealing with the fallout of the breakup this year, but it's over with now. The breakup's happened. You've moved on. You've got you've got your new job. You've got maybe a new partner or whatever. I don't know. you've got to let it go, and you've got to walk away from how things were then, because you're not there now. Now you're here. You're in a new space. You're in new energy. And I think really that you guys realise that. You're starting to realise it. So like my sister, she might be a bit, she seems very happy actually, I spoke to her today. Like my sister, she might be like, oh my God, it was so hard, like to get this job, like, oh my God, like, but it's like, you've got the job now. So all those feelings that you felt, the worry, the nerves, the anxieties, when you didn't have the job, or you didn't have the man, or you didn't have the child, or you didn't have the house, you're not in that space anymore. So you can walk away from those emotions and those experiences, and that's what this card represents. So that means that you are going to be moving forward toward new opportunity, toward a new, clearer, more balanced way of thinking, and hopefully feeling a lot more secure, a lot more stable, a lot happier. Not that you've not been happy, but again, sometimes we don't realise what that we're carrying with us, something that happened 3 years ago. The impact of it, the weight of those emotions, you can walk away from them in December. And as I said, some of you might want help with that. Some of you might need to speak to your friends or your family members, or your doctor or whoever, and just say, bloody hell, you know what? Yeah, it took me a while to get over that. I was over it, but I know I've moved on, but you know what? It has been something that I just couldn't shake. This is you shaking it, and this is you coming into that conscious awareness. Now, number 6 on the tree of life is love. And love, I talk about an appreciation for what you've been through, for the things that have happened already, and that those are the things that got you to where you are. It's about your wisdom and your understanding is number 6. And if you look on here, the 6th chakra, it is I know and I think, and really clearly this is you coming into awareness about how the last 3 years, the last 2 years, how your emotions have affected you. You coming into that awareness in a sobering way, but that's what helps to actually provide you with security and stability as you move forward now and navigate this month of December and go toward 2020. Okay, the next section here is our moon section of our reading, and this is all about what's going on beneath the surface, your emotions in the month of December. Okay, so let's have a look at these. I still can't wait to get to this card. I don't know what it is. Okay, so we've got the Four of Pentacles. We've got the Page of Cups. We've got the 9 of Wands, and we've got the Empress. Interesting. So we've got beneath the surface, this is what's going on. So you maybe have felt a little bit stuck or frustrated, in your attempts to move on, in your attempts to move forward, in your attempts to release. And what I want you to do just now, while you're sat here now, is I want you to stop telling yourself that that's wrong. It's not bad. It's not bad when you don't take action. Inactivity is a choice, and it's a necessary choice sometimes. It's a necessary experience that we must sit with. I always talk a lot about, for those people that follow me on Instagram and on Facebook, I talk a lot about the Tibetan Book of the Dead. And the Tibetan title is Liberation by Hearing in the Intermediate States. And the intermediate state, this is an intermediate state that you're in now, so awake. Dreaming, that's an intermediate state as well. Liberation by hearing, it's about listening, and that's why everything can't always be action all the time. We can't always be doing all the time. We have to listen in order to understand, in order to allow us to come into that understanding and to that awareness of our reality. And that's what this energy is. And the thing is, when I see the Four of Pentacles, I interpret it and know, because I know what this energy is. For me, this energy is about consolidation. It's about before I continue, Pentacles energy is about where we put our energy. Oh, I've said that. Energy and effort in order to manifest security. Number 4s are about our security, our foundations, the structures in our lives. This is about us really us really considering, having the time, the space, the energy to consider, why do I feel insecure? Because I've obviously got, in your life, you've obviously got you've obviously got a good job, you've obviously got the money that you need, you've obviously got the physical securities around you, you know, the practical securities around you that you need to feel secure, but you feel insecure. That's within you, inside you. There's a feeling of insecurity. Now that might be something, as I said, that you're walking away from. Remember, this is your feelings, these are your actions, okay? This is your experiences, these are your feelings. So this is, you might feel insecure, or you may have felt insecure up until this point. And that may have been something that's been ongoing, as I said, for the last 2 to 3 years. I feel like definitely this year, but I feel like it goes before. It's definitely before 2019 as well. There's been an ongoing feeling of insecurity for you, even though you have a great partner, or you've got your children, you know, you've got the family life that you want, or you've got the job, or the qualifications that you want. You've got all those things, and yet there's still been a feeling of insecurity for you. This is not something that you ignore. I say often, if you don't know, you can't grow. If you don't acknowledge, I'm sure I shouldn't show you this really. If you don't acknowledge and accept, then you can't move on. You can't move to number 5, which is change, until you recognise, I feel afraid. I feel insecure. Until you recognise that, or I have felt insecure, or I have felt whatever it is you've been feeling, you know. If you don't allow yourself to consciously engage with that feelings, because thoughts and feelings are 2 completely separate things, and they come from completely separate places from within your body. That's a fact. And you have to acknowledge how you felt. And I think you do. I feel like you do, because look, we've got this energy of moving on. So there's been a sense of insecurity. For my sister, for example, it might have been that she has felt insecure up until getting this new job. You know, when you're trying to get a job and you don't get it, you're like, bloody, you know, she was before this, she was working for one of our family businesses, which we look after vulnerable children. That's what my brother, a couple of my brothers do. She was the director for that company. So she's taken a pay cut to do this job, but she's happy doing it. So that might have led, anyway, I don't know why I'm telling you about Emma. I know she'll watch this video, she'll be like, Ruth, why are you bloody telling everyone? But what I'm saying is, it's about making sure that you confront that, becoming consciously aware of how you feel. And that is why I've separated the reading out like I have, okay? So, even if there's been insecurities, and I feel a sense that there has been, these 2 cards also talk about insecurities as well. Even though there's been insecurities, it's about allowing those things to come to light and walking away from them. So, the Page of Cups, I talk about this card as being a vulnerabilities card, okay? It really is. And this is your inner child. Your inner child wanting to reach out. Your inner child wanting, even though you're vulnerable, you're gonna talk about it. Even though you feel uncomfortable, or even though you have felt uncomfortable, you're going to talk about it. You're going to take action on it. You're not just going to stay feeling low or down or carrying weight or burden. You're not going to just continue to just do that forever and ever and ever, amen. You're going to actually start to talk about it. You're going to actually start to open up. You know, your inner child has been crying out. All of us, not just you watching this video, but every single human being on the planet in 2019 has been affected in exactly the same way. Regardless of what you see on television with our politicians, you know, you see it with celebrities. You know, we've seen the craziness with celebrities this year, in a sense of the vulnerabilities that people have been more inclined to talk about this year. That's and it seems like a trend. If you look back in January at my post, my astrology post on my Instagram, that's basically what it says. It says it's about engaging with our realities. It's about us being more vulnerable. And none of us have got away with it. We've all been feeling it. So you guys, I feel like you are moving away from it, because we've got these cards of moving away. You're opening up more. And even if you're afraid to do it with our second number 9 here, number 9s are, when we have multiple number 9s, it's about communication, really, about news and communication and, letters, correspondence, all that type of stuff. So we've got 2 9s now, we might have 3. But it just hints with these 2 number 9s again about you communicating. So your emotional and intuitive body communicating with you, i.e., coming into awareness of what your emotions are, and how your emotions have been affecting you, how they've been shaping or distorting your perspective about things, about your relationship, for example, or about your job, for example. And actually, there's nothing wrong with your job, or there's nothing wrong with your relationship. It's just because you've been feeling vulnerable and you didn't allow yourself, or you weren't able to see how that vulnerability was actually affecting your relationship or affecting your work. Does that make sense? This is you coming into that awareness. I can see that awareness because of these energies here in our actions, in the things that we do externally. So externally, you are walking away from this type of trauma that you felt. This is really like your inner child, your wounding. The woundings that you felt. You are wanting to open up. You are wanting to talk about how it's hurt you. And it sounds dramatic, I'm making it sound very dramatic. My sister, for example, she's fine. I've got another friend, Jamie. I don't know. I do worry a bit about him, to be fair. I'll make sure he watches this reading. I do worry a little bit. He's fine. He's got a great, he's just bought a lovely new house, and he's got a great job, and he's got loads of friends, I don't know, I worry about him a little bit, to be fair. Because I think that even though, as I said, you've got all this great life, like you do, Virgo, because you work hard, you're very hard on yourself, and you are hopefully going to stop some of those habits, being so hard on yourself. You've got to learn to nurture yourself, truly nurture yourself. And you know the difference. Virgo. You know the difference. There's a contentment with the Empress. The Empress is linked to our 3rd chakra, which is about our personal power. It's also masculine, actually, this in a way, because it's really about what we do, what we can do, and what we want to do. I can and I do. That's the affirmation for the number 3, or for the 3rd chakra. And number 3 is about our expansion, our comfortableness. Me being comfortable, being me in the world. It's linked to the sun. All out in the open is the number 3, and that's the Empress. It's about the comfort of understanding who you are and accepting who you are, and the awareness of that. That's what this energy is about, the Empress. It's divine feminine, actually. So it's about the understanding what's within, like all the divine feminines, understanding what's within, and being okay with it. I'm okay. I'm all right with that. I'm all right with that. That's this energy of the Empress, okay? So there is a sense of coming to terms with how you feel. Your feelings are just as important as, I don't know, any other part of your body. They're just as important as your hand, or your finger, or your eye, or whatever, your knee, or whatever it is. Your feelings are just as, or if not more important, actually. No, just as important as so what's going on the inside is just as important as what's going on the outside of your life. And you really have to give yourself, truthfully, that time to walk away. And as I said, you are going to be walking away from emotions or feelings that you've been carrying for longer than you've needed to carry, but it's been necessary for you to carry them this long in a karmic sense, because it leads to true understanding. It leads to you truly knowing, do you know what? I don't ever have to treat myself that way again. I never have to treat myself that way again. Or I have to be more open with myself when I'm behaving in this way, or when I'm ignoring her, for example. Yeah. So that's why sometimes karmically, situations can seem to drag out, but karmically it's what's necessary for you to really learn the lesson. Okay, so let's look at the stars then. So this is where you're heading in the month of January, or toward the end of this month, okay? So we've got the 2 of Swords, we've got the 10 of Wands, we've got the Moon card, and we've got the 9 of Swords. This is a card that was talking to me so much. It's got a clarifier. We'll leave that there for now, and we'll look at those 2 right at the end. So the 2 of Swords. Sword energy is about your thoughts, mind, clarity, consciousness, communication, what you say and think, what you allow yourself to say and think. And by allow yourself to say and think, again, what I mean by that is, are you able to accept the truth of how you feel or of where your mindset is? Are you able to allow yourself to admit how this has affected you, or how this has, I want to say, warped your perspective? Because I feel like some of you have had a warped perspective of yourself, potentially of yourself or of another situation or circumstance. I'd be interested to see what this is like for my sister, because I don't know. It seems like you've not been seeing something quite for what it is. That's what this is telling. You've not been seeing something quite for what it is. And that could be anything. It could be something small, it could be something huge, but you've not been seeing it quite for how it is. Now, for those Virgos who are voting in the for those Virgos that are voting in the UK election, just remember that. Anyway, number 2s are about our commitments, okay? Our commitments to ourselves and to others, partnerships, etc. It's related to your 2nd chakra, your sacral chakra, which the affirmation for that is, I feel and I want. So this is why it's about our desire, our fear, is the 2nd chakra, our desire, our fear, our ambition, our, hang on, what's the word? I can't find the word. Our drive, our, that it's all that type of energy. There's a word that I can't, it's gone from my head. Anyway, so the 2 of Swords is really saying that either you're kind of committed to a way of thinking about something, and for some of you, I don't want, listen, it's not about what I want, it's about what you want. You know, some of you know what it is you want, and you're not willing to allow yourself to know what it is you want. You know what it is you need, but you're not allowing yourself to know what it is you need. It's like you keep telling yourself, oh, it's whatever. Yeah, I'm not going to look at that. I'm not going to think about that. I'm not going to acknowledge that. I'm fine. I'll just crack on. I'll just get on with it. It's like, for example, you know, people who don't go to doctors, you know. I mean, listen, we've got the NHS for now in this country. We've got the NHS for now. It's like, so we can go to the doctors. Obviously, it's very, you know, people, you know, obviously waiting times, blah, blah, blah. But still, we can go to the doctors, yeah? And it's like, I mean, I'm sorry, men, I'm going to say you, because men don't go to doctors enough, right? So I'm talking about men where you've got an healthcare service like the NHS, right? So you're just not going to cost you any money. And they've got like an ache a dull ache in the ball or in the bollock, or they've got a, you know, and they just don't want to. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. It's like, listen, go to the doctor. I'm just gonna keep working. It's fine. I'm gonna go to the doctor. I'm not predicting any sort of medical illness of anybody. I'm using that as an example. I'm saying, do you know, when people have got that, oh, do you know, I should have probably got doctors about that, but I'm fine. I'll just crack on. Go to the doctors. Or do you know what? I probably should speak. No, I'm not going to think about it. It's fine. Speak to them. If you need to speak to them, speak, or whatever this is for you. Because it's as if there's something that really, you know, needs to happen. Whether it be a conversation. You know, you need to have this conversation on a level but you pretend that you don't know it, and you pretend, no, I'm just going to crack on. This is you going forward. So I want you to really consider right now, Virgo, what do you want and how do you feel? And what do you think? Because be honest with yourself. I tell you what, and this is the thing about the thing that I cannot stand about these meditation apps. People think that meditation is about you being able to go to sleep at night because you've put some quiet music on and it's calmed your mind down. The point is, meditation actually comes from, as you know, my followers on Instagram and Facebook, meditare, which means to reflect, to consider, to think over. Allow yourself to know your mind. Let yourself know the truth of how you think and what you feel. This is what he's telling me. I mean, it's coming out strong, this message, Virgo, because you need to get it. You need to get this message. Okay, I'm going to stop chastising you now. But we've got, again, further. In fact, going forward, there's definitely something that you don't want to do, that you're avoiding doing, a conversation that you're avoiding having, which you need to have this conversation. Now, it's interesting because that's like the exact opposite of Taurus. Taurus, they were having the conversations, they were reaching out, they were speaking to these people, they were doing what was necessary. You are like, I'm just going to keep doing what I'll just focus on work. I know it's getting a bit worse, my shoulder, but I'm just going to keep going. No, don't. Well, if that's what happens, if that's what you do, that's what you do. And some of you will ignore what your consciousness or your subconscious is trying to tell you. Some of you will ignore it. At least acknowledge it. At least acknowledge I've got a pain in my arm and I'm refusing to go to the doctors. At least acknowledge that. Because, don't just pretend that doesn't exist like some of you will. We've got this energy of the Ten of Wands. There's been a huge amount of strain this year. We know that for everybody. As we move forward, you're coming to the end of that. So this is suggesting that there is movement coming. There is change coming. You're coming to the end of this weight. There's been a huge amount of heaviness for you, Virgo, and for the last, I want to say 2-3 years, to be fair, you've been distracting yourself with work. Your energy has not been focused inward. You've not been allowing yourself to connect with yourself truly. It's been focused outward, on other people, on other situations, on things that distract you from connecting with, do you know what? I need a hug. I need someone to bloody make me a cup of tea and let me, I need someone to just give me a cuddle and look after me. I'm going to make sure I do that for my sister, actually. So, yeah. You've been distracting yourself, and this distraction is coming to an end, whether you like it or not. And I know this because we've got the Wheel of Fortune, because we've got the Moon card. So whether you like it or not, you trying to distract yourself from these feelings of vulnerability that you've been feeling by focusing your energy on other people, on world events, on, these are the people. This is like when we're on Twitter all the time, bloody having arguments with random strangers, because it's easier to have arguments with random strangers than to actually sit in my house by myself and feel how I really feel. I'm not saying that's what you've been doing as an individual. I'm just trying to give examples that illustrate the type of things that we do. This is us working late. This is us workaholic. I'm going into work on Saturday. I'm going into work on Sunday. I get home from work and I work more. This is the energy of the Ten of Swords. These are examples of what we do under this energy. Something's got to give, and something is going to give. Something will give in the month of December, or excuse me, as we move into January. And it might just be that some of you do just say, do you know what, boss? I'm having an extra week off work because I'm absolutely bloody knackered, I've been holding it in, and I cannot hold it in anymore. And you know what your boss is going to turn around, or your husband's going to turn around, or your wife's going to turn around, or your teacher's going to... Do you know what they're going to turn around and say to you? They're going to say, we know. You take time because we know that you need it. And I'm here for you. And if you want to come back to work tomorrow or next week, then I'm here. You can do that. Or if you want to be the one that cooks dinner next week, then you can. But for now, I've got your back. That's what's going to happen. You will see that people will step in to support exactly what you need. So I do not want you to be afraid of how you feel, Virgo. I want you to embrace it, to acknowledge it, because you're gonna start to see it, you're gonna start to feel it, and you're gonna have to adjust what you're doing in life, i.e. you can't be going to work all day, every day, working 60 hours, 70 hours, 80 hours, 90 hours. I don't know how many hours people work, but, you know, I mean, it's like me, I was working so many hours before, you know, this year, you know, this first year of Key Wisdom Tarot, I was working so many hours that I got to this point and I haven't been able to bloody work for... I've only done it all year because I've been here 10 bloody ones. I'm like, bloody knackered. But you'll be surprised how supportive people can be. So for me, you know, because you know, if I don't work, I don't get paid. So I don't have no money because I don't work, you know what I mean? But someone's got to give, and you'd be surprised at the people that come out. I've had people coming, my friends coming here, Ruth, right, I've made you a lamb stew, I've made you some soup, some tins of soup, but looking after me. And that's exactly what will happen for you. So if you need, and it sounds drastic and dramatic, and it's not necessarily, but just be aware that things are going to change for you, okay? It's about coming into that awareness, allowing yourself to really truly live your reality. Yeah, it's intense, but it's worth it. Okay, the moon card now. So this is the moon card. Do you know, one of the best posts I've ever written on my, I'm going to say it because it's true, you know, one of the best posts I've ever written on my Instagram is my description of the moon card. I wrote it after a huge amount of meditation. I woke up and I woke up out of the meditation and wrote it, and it's so beautifully written, if I do say so myself, and it beautifully describes the experience of the energy of the moon card. I want you to, once you finish watching this video, to go onto Key Wisdom Tarot on Instagram or on Facebook, or search on Google hashtag Key Wisdom Tarot, and you'll see all my posts. And I want you to find this one of the moon card, and I want you to read the description of that card and what I say about it, because the moon card isn't a card. Like, none of these are, I mean, the cards, but the things that you feel. So in this instance with the moon card, this is, what number is the moon card? I always start with numbers. So we've got 10, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 18. 18. Is that 18? Yeah, it is. I don't know. Yeah, 18 it is. Yeah, 1, 9. Yeah. 18. What is 9? Yeah. Okay. Sorry. That's it. So we've got, look, all the 9s. Again, I've mentioned the 9s, didn't I? We've got another 9 here, another 9 here. So yeah, letters, communication, activity like that. So this is really you reaching out, talking to people. But this is really about what's in your emotional pool. What's in your intuitive world. You know, you really, January is going to be quite a time for some of us, for some of you Virgos out there, because it's really time that you start engaging with your emotional world, and this is on your intuitive world and your intuitive senses. This is really the why you're not listening. You need to listen. That's what this is. They've been calling to you from within. Your intuitive body, your emotions have been calling out. Listen to us. Listen to how you feel. And you've not been, but you will do. You'll start to hear it in January or toward the end of the year. Again, we have Christmas period or the holiday period coming up. So we generally have time off work. And it's going to be in that time where it's pointed for you, and it's necessary that it's pointed for you, because your emotions have been crying out to be heard and to be listened to, and you'll hear it. And this tells us that you hear it. We've got this card, and we've got a clarifier. We'll look at this just on its own first. This is another nine of swords. Swords about thoughts, mind, clarity, consciousness, communication. This is seeing it. The things that you've been avoiding seeing, the things that you've been avoiding noticing, the things that you've been avoiding acknowledging and accepting and becoming aware of. I write these little notes for myself. I cover up that top part because, you know, I'm such a, I write so much, and if you knew it, would you do it? I write so much, you know, because I'm creating so much for you guys, for life. You know, my mission in life, I've known since I was 6 years old. You know, I've got to do this mission, and I'm doing it. Anyway, I digress. I just got distracted then. You are going to see the truth for yourself of how things have affected your energy, how certain situations that have already happened and occurred in your life have been affecting your self-esteem, have been skewing how you look at yourself, how you view your life, how you view your self-worth. It might feel intense, it might feel overwhelming, but you have got so much love and support around. You've got people there ready to look after you, to help you out, to listen to you. Just like I did, you have got those people there. You've got to confront it. This is why I as I said, if people want to use those apps because they're good, it helps you to calm your mind, that's good. But why do you think these energies exist? They exist because our job in this life is to come into awareness, is to, as people say, stay woke. It's to engage with our reality. It's not to just drift off at night and just find something to help us cover up our realities. No, it's about engaging. And this is a card about engaging with your mental reality, your conscious reality. So every time I see this card, I welcome it. I'm like, yes, Nine of Swords, yes, thank you. This is a breakthrough. That's what this is. This is a breakthrough. An emotional breakthrough, a mental breakthrough, a breakthrough of clarity that, yeah, okay, so it's hard at first. It's hard to be confronted with how we really feel and what we really think. But if you don't know, you can't grow. This is about knowing, coming into that knowing, that awareness, the truth of how you feel. And I, for one, am happy for you, Virgo. So you better enjoy the ride. And listen, if you're on your own, if you don't have no one in your life, if you're on your own, what am I here for? Listen, my job isn't, why do you think I do this? Do you think I just do this because it's like, oh, I can make money? I could go back to being a teacher and make more money, slightly. I could make money. I could go back. I tell you what, I don't get paid that much doing this job. I do it because this is where I was. PTSD, anxiety, depression. I've been there, you know. I've been there. And now I'm here. And I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you to realise that you and your reality is to be taken seriously, and it matters. Your emotions matter. What you think about yourself matters. So if there's no one else, then you've got me. You've got Key Wisdom Tarot. So you come and you email Key Wisdom Tarot, my channel, or on Instagram or Facebook, and you talk to me. And you ask the people that always talk to me. I mean, I've spoken to people. I've been on phone to people in Netherlands, in America. Can I just ring you now? Yeah, of course, ring me. And we talk. And we cry. And we talk. So if you need someone to talk to, you talk to me. And I don't charge you any money. I'm not going to say, right, well, that'll be 20 quid. No, you need someone to talk. That's my job. That's what I'm here for. Okay, clarifier. So yeah, I mean, look, we've got the Five of Pentacles here clarifying. So yeah, there's some of you will probably be. 5 is change, remember, like I said, okay? manifested change. So it suggests that there might be potentially some isolation for you. Some of you might feel on the out. Some of you might feel isolated within your own home, within your relationships, for example. Talk. Because you do not understand how significant, I do, because I've been here and lived this energy. This energy gets you to where I'm at. You need to go through this awareness. How do I feel? What's the truth of what are my true emotions? You need to go through that so that you can understand. Your seventh chakra is your crown chakra. This is where our psychic abilities come from, what they always talk about, our enlightenment and our unity. And by unity, what we mean is I am more than body. It's us. That's when we get woke. That's us waking up to realise I'm more than just body. My experiences in my life are more than just the things that I can feel and touch and see out there. And the unity is that, well, where is the other part of my life then? What is the other part of me? And that's your emotional and intuitive body. And the unity is the coming together of those two things. And that is exactly what is happening for you in the month of December and January. And that is a beautiful place to be. Believe me. Okay, my darlings, we'll leave it there because this reading is going on and on and on. So right, I'll just get this, I have my little notes. What I was going to say, I will be doing a video on the breakdown of the astrology of 2019, so this year, what we've had, what we've been facing, why it's been so difficult, why it's been so challenging. I'll also be looking forward to 2020. I'll be doing another video on the astrology of 2020 as well, so check that out. We have got I'll do another separate astrology video talking about the eclipse, the 5th eclipse of the year, which is coming up in December, just before Christmas, in Capricorn's birthday season, actually, about the 23rd. I'll be doing a video about the key astrology for the month of December as well. So check that video out, at your leisure, darling. Keep an eye out. So if you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Click the bell for notifications so that when I release, I tend to release these videos all at once, as in the individual star sign readings all at once. But the additional readings, the additional things that I do, they come out separate. So just if you click that notifications bell, then you'll get notifications to your email, to your phone. They'll pop up as soon as I upload them, and you can watch them. This is about educating yourself because, as I said, people go through experiences like this. People see these cards on other tarot channels and they go, oh my gosh, guys, oh God. No. If you don't know, you can't grow. I celebrate these energies because I know where these energies lead. These energies lead to wisdom and understanding and change, my darling. Change. Solid change. You can't forget the lessons that you learn with this energy, okay? So it's beautiful. And as I said, if you need me, Key Wisdom Tarot, keywisdomtarot@gmail.com, Key Wisdom Tarot. Search online, you'll find me, Instagram, Facebook. If you want to contact me at gmail.com and we'll talk about it. This is what we do. This is what I do. I'm here to teach you that you can overcome. You can experience this and be happy after it. Yeah, I promise you, because look at me. I'm very happy. Okay, my darlings, thank you so much for being here. I love you very much. Have a wonderful month. Keep an eye out, check out all that stuff, and I will see you all again very soon with all the brand new content. Okay, take care, my darling Virgos. Bye.